Bop.
Bop. Bop, bop. Okay. Hello, we're live. Hello, we're the Nerd Ledger. Hi, we're on the internet.
On
Um,
the interwebs.
yeah, this guy right here, this is me. This is Cage. That guy over there, that's Chair. And
Yes, sir. The chair, the legendary.
yeah, we are here on the internet on twitch.com. We're live.
In,
So like if you guys ever like want to join us live, you can follow us, the Nerd Ledger on Twitch. And then like when we go live, you'll get notifications that like tell you we went live, and
we
then you
have to
can
turn that
just
on. You have to turn that on. You have to turn that
well,
feature on.
yeah,
Make sure you turn
yeah.
that feature on.
Yeah, I mean,
You just
I just
hit that little button.
assumed,
That little.
people knew how the internet worked, like
Nah, man. I'm on the internet. I barely understand how it works anymore.
uh,
Which websites are web for? Which websites are just good old HTML? Can't even tell anymore.
bro, you just lost so many people that don't even know what Web4 and HTML are.
I don't fucking care. I don't care about those
So
people.
you know a lot more about the internet, okay?
Oh
All
wow.
right.
I've been to the
Um.
deep dark ends of it. I've been on websites where you could buy drugs.
Oh
And they
God.
were really, really expensive. And I was like, wow, I could just go to San Francisco and buy this for like 30, like fucking three-fourths of this price.
Yeah, I was in San Francisco over the weekend.
Yeah. How was that?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, let's start off with that. How was Fan Con or whatever con?
It's Fan Expo.
Fan Expo,
Chair
yeah.
didn't want to go because too many people.
Because I hate people and I get overwhelmed quickly and I can tell that I've been in an emotionally fraught state these past few weeks. So I knew that that probably would not be the best thing for me and my anxiety. So I decided to opt out.
Yeah.
Also, I swear I don't remember you inviting me beforehand. Did I like tell you I was gonna go with you?
No, 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 no. You didn't.
Okay, good. Okay,
So
good.
So I'll tell the story, but
Got it.
I'll with as much privacy as I can.
Okay.
So I was planning to go,
Hmm.
and well, I was thinking about going for a long time, and I
Yeah.
wasn't sure because for people who don't know, like Fan Expo in San Francisco, like they had a bunch of people there that like, I like to watch panels at cons. That's like mostly the reason I go. Like I don't care about the celebrities themselves. Like I don't want to meet them. I don't want to get pictures with them. I don't want to get their autographs. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
But I like
It's
to go
good to
to the
get
panels.
news straight from the horse's mouth. Absolutely, I
Yeah,
understand that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I like to go to the panels, and like Mark Hamill was there, who plays Luke Skywalker. For people who don't know, Ewan McGregor, who plays Obi-Wan Kenobi, he was there. A bunch of
Mm.
voice actors from like the Clone Wars and Rebel shows. Even different people from the movies, like the original actor for Wedge Antilles was there.
Mm,
Um,
wow.
yeah, the Hobbits were there: Merry, Pippin, Frodo, Sam, Elijah Wood, Sean Astin, uh, Dominic Monaghan, and Billy Boyd. All of them
The
were there.
homies.
Um, and a bunch of comic book writers and artists and stuff. And it's always like really cool, like, just to like go to different panels. And so, um, I was like, oh, I'm interested in going just like because I'm in like, but the problem is, right, the event was the 25th and they didn't release the panel schedule like until the 17th. And
Mm.
so it's like if you want to know what panels are going to be there beforehand, they'll probably sell out before you have the chance to know. And so I was like, I just like I'll go Saturday. Like, so I was like I'm gonna buy two tickets, and I didn't really have anyone to go with. Like at first, like I did tell you about it a long time ago, and you had
Mm.
said like you wanted to save money for Christmas or whatever. And at the
Yeah.
time, I wasn't like ready to fully commit to buying you a ticket, so I didn't say I would. But but yeah, I never asked you. Like I never said okay, I'll
Yeah,
buy you a ticket.
you
Come
never
with
asked
me.
me
Like
directly. I'm buying you a ticket. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Like I try to remember things like that. Like psych anime, I was psyching myself out for weeks.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So um then like I had spoken with one of my coworkers about it, and like she was interested, but she like was going to a wedding the day before, and like
Mm.
she wasn't sure, but like she was like, oh yeah, like once I told her like Ashley Eckstein, who voices Ahsoka, was gonna be there, she's like, oh, I want to go.
Oh, gee, I wonder which coworker that is.
Yeah. um and then and so I was like, well, I'll see first, like, I'll ask my lady, if she wants to go, because like,
Hmm.
you know, that's my first priority. And
Yeah.
so she was like, okay, I'll go. And I was like, all right. So I put the tickets in our names, and like then like it was like a couple days before the event, and like she was like worried like about leaving our dog home and stuff, and like like she wanted to work out like a babysitter and stuff, and I was like, do you even want to go? And she was like, well, I'll go, but like if you have no one else to go with. And then I was like, well, I'll see if anyone else wants to go then. So then I hit you up, and I asked like Captain Hot Sauce as well because I knew he had the
Mhm.
day off, but he couldn't go because he had to watch his kids. But he didn't tell me until the morning of, so I was like, oh, shit. Um,
Oh wow, yeah.
and then yeah, you didn't want to go, and so my wife ended up going with me, which is great for me because I just enjoy spending time with her, and like
Mm,
honestly, like that was like the highlight of the day for me is just like drive like the car ride there and back with her, and like just stopping and getting food, and just like I don't know, that was like
mm,
that was better than anything at the convention, to be honest.
yeah.
But yeah, so no. Long story short, no, I didn't ask you way before that if you wanted to go or like to go, So,
Okay, good.
um, yeah. Um, but yeah, ultimately that's yeah. We went to the con, and uh, it was all right. I went to two panels because Mark Hamill didn't have a panel on Saturday and Ewan McGregor didn't have a panel on Saturday, which is just kind of a nightmare, right? Like they
Mm,
purposely spread that shit out so you have to go over 3 days. And let me tell you, I don't want to be in San Francisco for more than one day.
yeah.
So they didn't have panels on um, on Friday or on Saturday. And then the panels that were on Saturday that I wanted to go to were Katie Sackhoff, Carl Weathers, and I think her name is Emily Swallows. They're all from in the Mandalorian. Katie Sackhoff plays Bo-Katan. Also, she was in Battlestar Galactica. If you guys know that, Carl Weathers plays Grief Karga, and Emily Swallows plays the Armorer. And so they had a panel, and I wanted to go to that one. And then there was one for the voice actors from Rebels. So the voice actor for Ezra, for Hera, and for Ahsoka. And then the four hobbits, they had a panel, but it was at the end of the day. It was like 7:30 p.m. And
Mm.
like
Well, it's just like a concert, you know. They save the best acts for last.
I guess, but like usually like the
Yes, that's
panels
how
are like,
concerts work. No.
well, yeah, that's how concerts work, but that's not how
Yeah.
conventions work, right?
Yeah.
And
Well.
like so at about like 6 p.m. I decided I'm not going to that.
Mm,
And it was because I wanted to leave before the end of the convention, before everybody's like leaving. Like you
yeah.
don't want to get stuck in the swarm of people trying to leave.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but nerds have not evolved in any way, shape, or form.
No.
Bro, I'm telling you, the smell in those panel
All the.
halls was
Yeah.
horrific.
Yeah. I can only imagine.
Like and like it's one of those things where it's like you kind of understand for people that are in costume all day, like they'll get
Yeah. You're
sweaty
gonna
and
be sweaty.
whatever. But
Yeah.
if they
Absolutely.
know anything about personal hygiene, you can mitigate that easily. First of all,
Yep.
wear deodorant. Second of all, you have body spray or cologne or anything, spray it in the areas where you sweat, and when you sweat and your pores open, it'll release a better smelling smell,
Yeah.
right? Like this is just basic like fundamentals of going out in public and not smelling like you've lived in San Francisco for 30 years.
Yeah.
Like I kid you not, right? Like we parked in the parking garage and I didn't see an elevator, so we took the stairs, and the stairwell just smelled of shit and piss because it's
Yeah.
it's San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
And like it's anybody can access that stairwell, so obviously like you know
Yeah.
people
Homeless person. Yeah.
yeah,
Or someone
people
high as
without
fuck or
homes
some
will
homeless
just
person.
go in there and yeah, use the
Yeah.
bathroom.
Sometimes not even homeless people. Sometimes it's just some dude from the
Yeah,
club who's just all fucked up. Like, he just takes a dude. I've seen that happen before too. Like, the blame is all around for just how people act in public and treat public spaces. Like at this point, that's what it all comes down to.
right. Yeah, and so that was a bad smell, but it's almost worse being in a room with a bunch of people. And like if it's like a couple people that like don't shower, don't wear deodorant, like you wouldn't smell it that much. It's got to be about 70% of the room, and that's just terrifying to me. That like
Yeah.
so many people, and like I get it in some ways. Like I don't want to like shame people because like there are people that obviously like deal with mental health issues and like depression and stuff, and like they have no motivation to like take care of themselves.
Hmm.
But like if you have no motivation to take care of yourself, then I don't think you, I mean I could be wrong, but I don't think you necessarily then have the motivation to spend a bunch of money and go to a convention either. but
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
very odd juxtaposition with consumerist nerds and how they deal with depression and everything like that. How they always have enough money for like, it's the typical thing where you get right to the you get right to the crux of the matter, like when you tell someone like, "Hey, you're in really dire financial straits, you shouldn't buy this thing," then they buy it anyway, and then they'll go to the ends of the earth to defend it. Not like me, like where I make horrible financial decisions all the time and just go fucking highly irresponsible, and I just want to get that dopamine rush. And I'm a gambler anyway, so nothing fucking matters. But not a
yeah.
lot of people are like me in that regard. They don't admit when they just do stupid things intentionally because they're stupid, and you don't really care in the long run because
People like to make
money comes and goes.
excuses.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, like
And it makes them like mad when you point that stuff out. And like you're right. Like just again how people act in public spaces. Like I don't know what else to say, man. Like, but if you're stinking all the time, you really gotta start thinking about like personal health and stuff like that. Just put on like a lot of deodorant, like a ton. Like take a shower. Like
I mean, I get it. Like they're there for them. Like they're not there for anybody else. Like so they don't care that like they're gonna meet their celebrity crush and they're gonna smell them. You know, like
yeah,
I don't think they're like they either aren't conscious of it or they just don't care, right?
yeah,
And like based on like the way some of them like look, like again, I don't want to shame people, but it's like you could tell like they don't give a fuck, you know.
mm,
And like I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like honestly, that's kind of an enviable thing mindset is like where you just literally like you just don't care about anybody else's opinion of you ever. And like
yeah,
but I don't know. I don't know the truth of it, but it's like that's how it seems to me is like you cannot care how people feel about you if you're showing up like that, you know?
yeah.
In like a public space with like tens of thousands of people.
Mm.
But yeah, that the smell was bad. And it didn't go away. The other thing is these mother suckers at
Which
this
ones?
convention. The they had a massive like food court area,
Mm-hmm.
and holy fuck,
Was it expensive as fuck? Was it super expensive?
holy shit. Okay, so
Was it like
my
$20
wife
for nuggies?
my wife bought a cold pre-prepared sandwich
Oh
and
yeah,
two sodas.
$22.
$35.
Nice.
Bro, so she got a soda and she's like, "Oh, go get one." And so I got one and then they rang it up and it said $7 and I thought, "Oh, it must be for both. Two sodas for $7." Bro, it's $7 per each soda for a 12-ounce count of soda. Bro, you could buy
Yeah.
a 12 pack for $7.
Yeah.
Seven fucking dollars. Bro, you could go to
Yeah.
Disneyland and get soda cheaper.
Yeah.
Like I get it, it's a convention and it's in San Francisco, but holy
And
shit.
yeah, dude, and they know you're trapped there. Like that's the other thing
No, you're
about it.
not.
They
You
don't.
can walk out and walk down the street literally like a minute and get a Starbucks, which is probably also overpriced.
Yeah.
But Jesus
I mean,
fuck, man.
yeah, everything is like, nerds don't want to admit, it's again like a lot of nerds are consider themselves to be like it's people's it's a very strange juxtaposition, but I met a lot of nerds that consider themselves to very much be like anti-capitalist, and then they go and they engage in such like highly capitalist like processes that I know they're completely full of shit as individuals. So there's
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
And it's just these cons are just money traps. Like that's all they are. That's another reason I tried to avoid them for such a long time. You saw my face when I put down that mug of that fucking convention. $50 for $55 for a shitty little mug that said coffee like +5 to this, +5 to that, +5. I can go find the same thing on Amazon for $20. Like
Yeah.
at some point you need to draw like a hard just like draw a hard line in the sand. Like no, like I'm not like spelling out for this.
You know what else people at cons need to stop doing, and not people that are there, but like vendors, like people that are selling shit there, like
mm,
people who sell comic books, stop putting an estimated grade on the book, just so you can
yeah,
mark it up. If the book isn't graded, don't put a grade on it. Like it's just annoying. You're gonna say that I could send that in and it'll be graded an 8.0 and it'll be worth what I'm paying for it. No, it won't.
yeah,
Let me look at it myself and tell you how much I want to give you. Not really that, but like, bro, don't sit there and say this book that's 60 years old is an 8.0 when it's not graded. It's not. It's not.
Yeah,
I
I
can
don't know.
look at it
I
and
don't
tell
know.
you it's not.
I don't know anything about any of that stuff, so I'm taking your word for it 100%.
I mean, I'm not paying $1,000 for the first appearance of Black Bolt. That's just facts. I don't care that you think it's an 8.0. It's not.
And like how I lost a bunch of people talking about Web 4 and HTML, you just lost a bunch of people by talking about Grade 4. It's an obscure comic nobody probably read. Anyway, moving
Okay. People know
on.
Fantastic Four 46, 45, 44. Okay, these are the
I,
big ones. The first
I don't
appearance
know
of the
about
Inhumans,
people. Okay,
the first
people
appearance.
is a broad term. I'm thinking more like comic book fans, would know what Fantastic Four. They know the Fantastic Four, but not Fantastic 44, 45, and
They do,
46.
bro.
I
People know the first. Okay, so it wasn't Humans, but it's Frightful Four, and then it was Black Panther, and it was Black Bolt, and then it was Silver Surfer and Galactus in 48, and
mm,
then bro. Oh no, sorry. Black Panther was 53, I think. Anyway, people know. Okay, I don't know, but people know.
sure. Okay, whatever.
Yeah,
Either way, though,
yeah.
like yeah, cons are definitely a trap these days. Like they became really popular. They became. I just remember growing up, like they were like the hidden thing that people could go and do. Like this is a place for nerds to go and be nerds, and this is where like all the have-nots get together. And now all the
Yeah.
have-nots are the haves. All the have-nots went to school, got a bunch of fancy technology certificates and degrees and all this other stuff, and went to tech and started making 600,000 K a year or whatever. A lot of nerds started doing that, which is why nerd memorabilia and it's in everything like retro video game is super expensive these days because the demand is super high. And they just kept buying stuff up, and just things kept getting more expensive at all these nerd things. It used to be all about like, cheap, affordable nerd shit that nerds could get together and share with each other. And now it's just like, like we were at Sac Anime, like it was cool, but also like how many freaking booths did we see of the same like processed anime hentai crap, you know?
Oh yeah.
And how many times did we see that those booths had people like hanging out in front of those booths buying all that shit up? Like, like fucking it's crazy to me that people would buy that crap. Like some of it was pretty hot, but like, I don't know, but like some of it, like the stuff that people were buying was just so weird and like, non-intuitive.
Oh yeah, I mean, and picking up on the gambling thing, I think a bunch of nerds also have gambling problems because
No,
microtransactions of video games and shit. Like your whole
yeah,
life is built around essentially gambling, and
well,
like
gaming is essentially just gambling. That's what gaming
yeah,
has always been gambling. A lot of gaming usually includes some sort of RNG form factor thing where so you never know what the enemy's going to do. And then, yeah, most gamers are just horrific gamblers in disguise.
oh
Like
yeah,
that's,
and and
there's no
and
doubt about
uh,
that.
and there's always the booth at the convention with loot boxes. Like
Yeah.
themed loot boxes. Here's your Star Wars loot box. It's $50. You might get something cool in there, brother. What am I gonna get in there? A fucking bandana?
Mm,
Like, come on, man. Like, unless
yeah.
unless you got like $100 statue in there, why am I buying it,
Yeah.
bro? Unless you got a Force FX lightsaber in there, what the fuck do I want that shit for?
Yeah, exactly. It is a very strange thing to do. The stuff you
But
want is extra expensive. So,
yeah, the other major problem I had at the convention, like, do you know what a pick me girl is?
you mean like booth girls?
No, just like in general, like the term pick me girl.
No.
Maybe I
Well,
should bring up.
maybe you can. Why don't you explain your version of what you think it is?
So a pick me girl, like I don't use this terminology, but people do. But like essentially, like in my mind, it's like it's like a girl who like does everything she can to try to like get get a dude to like her.
Yeah.
Like, and she's the girl at the bar who's like super loud, always touching the guy, always like, oh, I'm the life of the party, I'm the best person here. Like, it's just like look at me kind of thing. Like in the guy world, I call it peacocking, right? Where the guy is just like loud and obnoxious and like everybody look at me, right?
Mm.
And so like let me see the Urban Dictionary definition. Here we go. Urban Dictionary says the meaning a pick me girl is a girl who seeks male validation by indirectly or directly insinuating that she is not like other girls, basically a female version of a simp.
Yeah.
Characteristics of a pick me girl: lets men walk all over her because of her carefree demeanor, only hangs out with men because they're unproblematic, exerts qualities, characteristics of her male counterparts that were not initially. Okay, so it's a little different than what I said, but
Yeah.
Um,
Either way, though, like you said, there's male versions of this too. So, yeah, I kind of know what you're talking. Someone who wants to be the center of attention all the time, basically, is what you're saying.
yeah, and so
And they'll, boy, man, girl, woman, doesn't really fucking matter. People do like
no,
stupid shit. They'll take advantage of whatever they are, like, whatever form they're into, just be the center of attention.
yeah, and I'm just gonna coin a phrase here, and I'm gonna say
Are you
that
gonna complain about hot cosplay chicks, by the way? Because I
no,
completely disagree with any.
no,
Okay,
no,
okay.
no, no. I'm gonna complain about pick me nerds.
Yeah,
These mother suckers that are out there, and every time you're in a panel and the panelist says a quote from the TV show they're in, they scream as loud as possible in your ear, clap so loud. They want everybody in that room to know you can never be as big a fan as they are. You don't love this as much as they do. I fucking love it, man. I am going crazy. I'm losing my mind because they said, "May the force be with you." Shut the fuck up, man. We're all here for the same fucking reason. I don't care. I don't want to hear you scream. Nobody does. You're not doing anything aside from being obnoxious. I don't have any problem with people who have passion and stuff. Like, I appreciate that, but, like, you don't have to scream that loud. You don't
yeah,
like that's nobody's natural reaction to cheering. Nobody is like, wow, wow, wow. Like nobody does that shit. Like nobody. Like
yeah.
I get being
Oh,
excited and like
you're
being
talking about people like overreacting to like, just
to nothing, to just literally nothing.
We
Like
usually it's them trying to display that it's people thinking that they need to like react in a certain way to be part of a group, and there's like the addiction to like upping that reaction is by as much many degrees as possible, so you could feel I don't know like you're the center, like you're better than everybody else. I guess I don't know.
nobody can see you.
Yeah,
My wife is like walking out of the room. She's just like sidestepping as far, like as close to the wall as possible. Like the camera can't pick her up, but
yeah,
you know. No, I like Ashley Eckstein would say like an Ahsoka quote, and like people would just lose their mind, and
yeah.
like Vanessa
That
Marshall.
that's nerds because like a lot of nerds are just they're like theater kids, like again they just get really excited and in groups and they just start screaming, dude. I
Bro,
don't know what else to fucking tell you about
I
that.
get it, bro. I
That's another reason I
memorized
stay away
like
from cons.
I could recite every piece of dialogue in like the prequel trilogy of Star Wars growing up. Like
Dude,
but like if Hayden Christensen sat there and quoted Anakin Skywalker, I wouldn't fucking scream and lose my
yeah.
mind. I'd just be like, oh, all right, that's cool, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. Some people just get really excited, or like, they're like, someone you and I may both know, or you more than I, that a certain character is just like, like a founding part of their personality as like a human being. So maybe they get just a little too excited, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
people that are like that,
I,
especially for Star Wars characters.
Also, like for people listening who are like, "Man, this guy is annoying and I hate him." Like I
Mm,
get it. Like this is a me problem. It's not a you problem. Like I'm not
yeah.
telling anybody they need to
Well,
change.
you and I are very socially anxious individuals, so
Yeah.
it's very strange for us to see people who just get so like hyped up in social situations. Like, you and I, well, maybe not you, but when I go to a metal show, I'm always in the fucking pit, like just running around screaming and being an asshole because that's like socially acceptable in those situations, or at least it is
Oh
like if
yeah.
you're in the
Even
pit.
there, I'm just hiding. I'm just in a corner. Like
Yeah, see, I'm like in the pit, so
yeah.
that being said, though, like there's context for everything, and like you're going there to at the end of the day, I'm sure what happened to you is you probably had someone like screaming in your ear, huh? About something like,
Bro, it
people
wasn't
got
even
really
someone
excited.
close to me. It was like someone
Yeah.
on the other side of the room, and like it was piercing. It hurt. It hurt my head, man. It hurt.
Oh, well, yeah. It's when there's a lot of people around and you're already kind of overwhelmed and, it just contributing factors like compound anxieties and contribute to migraines, many little panic attacks, like, quick little disassociations. You never know when that can happen
Bro, it's
when
like
you're walking
I
around.
don't know. Like when people scream like that, it just startles me. Like,
Yeah. No,
but
it's,
again, like this is a me problem. Like like again, I appreciate people's passion. Like nobody should change for me. Like nobody should feel like, oh my god, I have to be conscious of how I act because there's people like him about. Like, bro, just be you. But like,
mm,
fuck, man.
yeah.
Uh,
No, some people get really excited. Like, I don't know what else to say.
yeah, like in the Rebels panel, someone had asked them like if they could play a live action, like if they could be in live action, who would they want to be,
Mm,
right? And like the guy who plays Ezra, he just said like he'd want to be a stormtrooper, and Ashley Eckstein didn't really answer the question because like I don't know why. But Vanessa Marshall, who voices Hera, she said she'd like to be Mara Jade Bro,
Yeah.
not that many people applauded for that. Nobody was screaming in my ear over that. Like that was like the most controversial thing anybody said. And like and I saw an article online posted about it as well. That she said she'd want to play Mara Jade. And then I saw someone comment, the stupidest comment I saw in my life. This dude said it was a comedic off the cuff answer to a hypothetical question. She's not actually complaining to play Mara. Love me some Van Mar. Okay, sir, it wasn't a comedic off the cuff remark. They were asked directly, who would you like to play in live action? And she said Mara Jade. She's not campaigning, no, but she did say, I know Dave Filoni is always watching. I want to play Mara Jade. That's not, there was nobody laughed. It wasn't funny. It's not comedic. I was there, dumb fuck. Anyway, sorry. I don't know why I'm angry today.
Oh no, it's just, well, no, you're not angry today. I get it. But also, you're not angry today. You're angry at one specific thing. And again, it's just, when you go to these places and like, people just get so hyped and it's very overwhelming, like on how hyped they get. Like really, like they get like so people still just get really, really, really excited. And you're right, they start screaming and yelling. I know this because like I'm a really socially like reclusive person. Like I can go days without talking to another human being and be fine. And I've told this to other people and tells like, bro, I can't even sit alone in a room. I'll go fucking insane, bro. There are just some hyper social people out there that need to be part of the crowd, and being part of the crowd is like shouting and yelling and having a good time. And they're nerds and like that. They just get really excited.
Yeah,
And it's just
like
like, when you're at a con, you're gonna meet all people you don't like deal with, like people that don't care about their BO, and you just got to deal with it because you all spent money to be there, and just be surrounded by all this colorful stuff. I like Sec Anime because it was like really cool, but I don't know if I'd ever go to a bigger con to be honest, unless like it was really something really really cool happening there. Maybe I don't. Maybe it's because I don't have the money for it, but I don't know. When I was a kid, like never going. The only conventions I was ever interested in going to were the Pokemon ones, and that's because they give you free Pokemon when you're there. So they're like
yeah.
Pokemon. You can't get Pokemon anywhere else. Like if I wanted to buy this stuff, I guess I'd just buy it on the internet. Like, I
Yeah. Oh, also, right, something you brought up like last week when I talked about going to the convention was
mm,
panels, right? I talked about the panels, and you said, can't you just watch them online later? And I
mm.
mentioned like going to conventions where like they got really really strict about it. They didn't give a fuck. If it's Fan Expo, they don't give a fuck, bro. People are recording the whole thing. They didn't say shit,
I'm
bro.
sure that Comic-Con is super controlled because it's the most. I think it's
Bro,
probably the most
I've been to
corporate.
smaller conventions like Fandemic, like one Wizard World when that was still a thing. Like
Mm,
these are like not huge conventions where you'd have like people from like not voice actors, but like the actors from like Charmed, right? Like the TV show Charmed, the old one, right?
yeah, yeah,
They like
I remember.
it would just be like Holly Marie Combs there, and like she would have a panel, and like they would not let you take your phone out. You would be removed from the hall as soon as you took your phone out. Like
Yeah,
for that. And this one, you got fucking Mark Hamill and Ewan McGregor and shit. They don't give a fuck, bro. Like people are just sitting there like this the whole fucking time with their phones out. You got people as they go up to the mic to ask the question, they're filming the whole thing. Like nobody cares. It was that I found that interesting, and that's why like I felt like comfortable. Like I was like, oh, I could just skip the Lord of the Rings panel because I could just watch it maybe on YouTube later. Obviously, you know.
yeah.
But there was one person on the stage whose energy I felt completely. Like I feel like Carl Weathers and I are kindred spirits because like he just had nerds asking him ridiculous questions, and I like his answers are the answers I would give, to be honest.
Mm.
Like so Carl Weathers, for people who don't know, is Grief Karga in The Mandalorian,
Yeah.
but he's
Okay.
yeah. He's been in a bunch of things. He was in the Predator movies in the 80s, and he was
That's right.
Apollo
Yes.
Creed in the Rocky movies.
Yep.
And so you had
And
Rocky
he was
fans there.
he was really good in the Mandalorian, by the way. I just want
Yeah.
to put that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like really really good in the
Like
Mandalorian.
the first guy who asked a question, he was like he was so intense asking about, bro, you're Apollo in the Rocky movies and blah 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 blah. And Carl Weathers just sat up and he was like, bro, that was a job.
Yeah.
And like people would ask him like, oh, like what's your approach going into like, becoming such an iconic character like Apollo, and then like, and how's that different from working on like Star Wars and stuff? And he's like, bro, they're just jobs. He's like,
Yeah.
there's no difference in approach. You just hope that you do a good enough job that people remember you. And I'm glad that you guys remember that. But like, I don't.
Yeah. You
And
know,
I was
it's
just like,
just
bro,
so hard. It's just
I'm with you because these people like, it's one thing to be like passionate, like, but like these guys just love this shit, you know?
yeah. There's definitely like it's the obsession. It's the kind of obsession that has you sending death threats to the creator of the thing you say you love so much because you think it's being attacked by the person that made it, and they make a documentary and then they say that you're like ruining Star Wars even though you literally can't do that. Um, these nerds are just crazy. A lot of them are crazy and unhinged too. There's like a lot of that out there too, and I think we should be able to say that without feeling like some people get really excited and when they get in front of a microphone, they don't know what to say. I understand that. Some people stutter. I'm sure. But other people just like they're like like you said, the pick me nerd. Like they're, oh, I'm gonna ask this question, it's gonna go viral, and I'm gonna become famous. Or like I'm gonna be like so cool on the microphone, this dude's gonna like want to hang out with me. Which are you and I know this is complete delusions, but a lot of people that are drinking like have blinders on as they stumble through life is like it's something that really does happen every day,
Yeah.
and
I,
it's
I just like I'm I don't maybe again like it's probably just a me problem, you know? Like I struggle so much to like get excited and
mm,
like allow myself to like feel that or like I guess live in that moment, you know? Like
mm.
but for a lot of people like it is like it's like cathartic, you know? And so I don't know. Like I like the panels. I like seeing the people and hearing their thoughts and whatever and like how they feel about things. And like it's for the Rebels panel like with Vanessa Marshall and the guy who voices Ezra and Ashley Eckstein and stuff you could tell they love Star Wars and they're big Star Wars fans. Like they know everything. Like
Yeah.
pulling Mara Jade out of a hat. Like like I get it. Like she was in Rebels, but like some again, like she could just be like Carl Weathers. Like it's a job, it's a job,
Yeah.
and like
Well,
you,
I think voice actors too, they're a little bit more of the younger generation, so they're part of that conventional life con, like, so they kind of like collude in with like, the fantasy that a lot of people weave around themselves when they interact with these individuals, when they don't, to them, you're right, it is a job. And like, I'm sure some of them say, oh, what I do in that booth, it's art, bro. And there are a lot of them that just do it and shame, like, they can step in there, they can speak, and then they can like say things that people want to hear on a video game character, and then they can walk away, and like people go, wow, amazing, and go like, yeah, bro, it was a job. I stepped into that booth and I started talking, and that was it. You know, and it's hard to discern between those people. And it's just they're just like anyone. Actors are just like anyone else. You'll find both. You're gonna find a lot of Carl Weathers, and you're gonna find a lot of people like voice actors that are just like really kind of like theater kids that just get really excited and really hyped with the crowd energy and stuff like that. Singing their musicals, being all happy all the time. Damn, I hate theater kids.
um yeah, I guess that honestly is a better example than the one I gave about pick me girls. Like theater kids are a good analogy or a good like reference point for like certain kinds of nerds where like
Super like just super high social, high interactivity, like
yeah
just ready to explode at a moment's notice with like any kind of emotion that overwhelms them, like when they see someone.
yeah, and it's like people like that need to be with their people, which is probably why they go to conventions and why maybe I should not go to as many conventions because like bro, I get like if like my partner was like very loud, I would like feel embarrassed in public, right? Which is
Mm,
like again a me problem and like probably someone I shouldn't be with because they should be with someone who lets them live their life the way they want to as well, right? Like they need to
yeah.
find that compatibility and like for me, I don't know. I'm just like I don't like loudness. It bugs me. And like I don't know. I don't know.
But you
But
like heavy metal? I'm just kidding.
yeah.
Because I'm the same way. Like I am a very quiet, reserved individual. I don't like going out to clubs. I like going to museums and like libraries and art galleries and all this stuff and seeing like just going around looking at cool shit like in complete silence. And not everybody is unfortunately like that.
Yeah. Something we didn't talk about. How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was great. Had it with the dogs and went to Safeway at around 2 o'clock, and they were actually serving a bone-in half turkey breast for $15. So
Mm-hmm.
I got me one of those. It was dry as hell, but it's still nice to eat turkey. It's still nice to eat turkey on Thanksgiving, but that doesn't matter. what was more importantly, next to the turkey, there was a whole tray of the Safeway mashed potatoes. And if you don't know what Safeway is, it's a grocery chain on the West Coast. And if you don't know, each Safeway has a deli inside it. And these delis actually serve really good food. Um, and the mashed potatoes they make at these Safeway delis is absolutely phenomenal, and everybody should try it at least once in their life because it's super good. Like whipped sour cream, garlic, like all kinds. They're absolutely delicious.
Yeah, I don't go to
So
Safeway.
I got a large order of those mashed potatoes. I got some Hawaiian bread rolls that were down there, some dinner rolls, and I went home and I made up some plates for me and my dogs, and we had Thanksgiving dinner, and it was really cute. And like, I'm sure some people find it depressing, but I'm just happy to have the dogs with me.
I went to Korean barbecue.
And there you go.
Yeah, it was
So,
good. It was good.
yep.
Oh, so good.
Korean barbecue is hella good. So,
Yeah, yeah, it was good. But yeah, that's nice. I hope everybody else had a
have a great
nice
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. You know.
No. Do we have
Um,
anything to review? We don't, do we? Because
no,
everything's
I
done.
mean
Everything's done right
there's
now.
so there's some news, but to me, honestly, it was all really boring, and I didn't care about it. Like I was just reading through it, I was like, bro, this shit's boring. I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck.
Usually,
Like,
if I don't like encounter the news, it does mean it's probably really boring. So I'll
well,
text you something asking about it.
it was like the girl who plays Miss Marvel, like her, like she's gonna be the focus in the zombies animated series as like they refer to her as
Yeah.
like the Frodo of the show. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. And then
Yeah.
she
And
talks.
Monty Tellali, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She talks about um what like where the MCU is right now. Kind of. I didn't read the article because I didn't care about her thoughts on it. Like I just know she's a big nerd and she like loves the MCU and she loves talking about it and she's like loves Marvel comics and
She's a
all.
writer, right? She's a comic writer now, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
and then like there was something about like Zack Snyder called James Gunn like as soon as he got the position at DC to congratulate him or something. Okay, cool. And
Yep.
then there was Christopher Nolan. People obviously probably know who that is, but like Christopher Nolan did the Dark Knight trilogy and like obviously a bunch of other movies like Inception and Interstellar and Oppenheimer and all that stuff. He said that that Zack Snyder's Watchmen was ahead of its time.
Mm.
Okay. I mean, like I like the movie too. I don't know if it was ahead of its time. It was a Zack Snyder movie based on a graphic novel,
Yeah.
right? Like
I mean, it was great. Like I thought it was weird and good, but you know me, I like weird
no,
alt stuff
I
like that.
also I loved that movie watching it. Like
Yeah.
because I was a big fan of the graphic novel, right, growing up.
Yeah. And the
So
guy who played the dude with all the different masks, who was that?
Rorschach.
Yeah, who was the guy who played him? He was a really good actor.
Oh, Jackie Haley.
Yeah, something like that. He was really good. I don't see him in any of the movies. Maybe that was like one of his last. Maybe I haven't seen.
He's been in some other stuff, but yeah, yeah. Like I agree. I love the movie, but like, if you're gonna say it was ahead of its time, you have to then also say 300 was ahead of its time,
Hmm.
right? Because like stylistically and cinematically and like for what they were, like they could be seen as ahead of their time. But at the same time, like Christopher Nolan, a lot of the movies he's done like are ahead of their time
Hmm.
because like that's just kind of like the kind of director he is. Like even the Batman movies, like for what they are, like you know, that's what comic book movies were like, even in the MCU in like the early 2010s, right? Like not all of them,
Yeah.
but like when you think of like to me like Winter Soldier is pretty close to like the Dark Knight in the way that like it's telling its own story with superheroes in it instead of
Yeah.
like telling a superhero story, which is the mistakes I think that Zack Snyder's films made, as well as the mistakes that I think some of the earlier Fox movies made.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so that's like all the really news, and I didn't really want to talk about any of it because I was like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, there's nothing really to talk about. Like, these are all more statements than actual news. Like, I saw the Amani Valali stuff too, where people were trying to ask her, like, bro, the Marvels isn't selling well. What do you think about that? Is like, she's like, I really don't fucking care. Basically, what her response was like, I had a great time recording the movie, and that's it. And then she said, I think, like, it's Bob Iger's problem. And then I think that's like all she said. And they're still trying to they're trying to
Yeah.
peel things out of her.
So
That really sucks.
there's not really news around it, but like it is a thing, like a strategic thing I think happening at Disney right
Mm,
now, or at least with the MCU, where they're looking to slow things down a lot.
yeah.
to, because I think Bob Iger said something like sometimes if you have too much of something, it can ruin the quality of it.
Yeah, and I absolutely believe that is true.
Yeah, it's true. It's definitely true. Like,
Yeah.
and for me, the way that that takes shape in the MCU is people maybe aren't like nobody cares about how good or bad the Marvels is. So many people probably didn't watch it because they don't know what else they need to watch to understand it,
Yeah.
and that's a problem.
Yeah. Because there was a lot of MCU content that I never processed, like the holiday specials and all that kind of stuff that they did that, just didn't make any sense for it to be there. Or why is it here? Like, this is something that should be like on a DVD, like a DVD special feature or something like that.
Yeah. I
And,
mean, it should be like the Star Wars holiday special, right? Where you have like
yeah,
20 people who loved it and then everyone else who never watched it.
yeah.
And, those 20 people get real excited because,
And George Lucas trying to scour it from the internet.
yeah, like it's not on Disney Plus. Like you can't watch it on Disney Plus.
You
But
gotta check it.
they do every holiday season they try to sell Life Day merchandise.
Hmm.
So, and for people who don't know what that is, you need to watch the Star Wars holiday special if you can find
I
it.
know what Life Day is because I role play in Star Wars, and we're literally getting set up for Life Day soon.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Chair's been trying to get me to download. I mean to
Already,
play. I have.
yeah,
Obviously I have the discs. I've had the game for a long time.
yeah.
Star Wars Galaxies. And he's been trying to get me to play, and I finally hopped on for like 20
Mm.
minutes the other day, and
As a wise Athorian Jedi.
yeah,
Yeah. And it was
yeah.
pretty cool, but
So
I had a bunch of stuff going on, so I couldn't hang out too long. And I guess he didn't really want to, his cage didn't want to check out Tansari Point all by his lonesome. So,
yeah,
yeah, it's scary in there, man. You get down to the Waktua, the clones. There's a tribal people that sustain their tribal population through cloning, living on an opposite station.
bro,
And sometimes
everybody's
you
just
gotta
like, hey, go talk to Han Solo, and then Han Solo's like, hey, go away, and then the people
go.
keep like they just have to keep going to Han Solo.
Welcome to 2001. Quest building was not there yet.
Yeah.
It's a really boring game, like in a lot of respects, and like I understand if it wouldn't be your cup of tea, but I just really like it because I played it as a kid, so I guess I got nostalgia glasses on, and it has really interesting mechanics to it, and the space stuff, the
Well, there's a
space stuff
community,
is really
right? Like,
yes, yeah, the
and
space
you're a
stuff is
part of
really
that
cool.
community.
Yeah, yeah, and the space stuff was really cool because like like remember when I was showing you me flying around in that ship?
Yeah.
I go and you do these things called T6 convoys where you use like an interdictor beacon to pull like expensive merchant ships out of hyperspace and then you steal their shit. And it's like a space boss, right? And you can do T6 convoys, which is the most dangerous of them. And you have to be in a group of like, 8 people in space. And it's like really cool because you're all like flying around like, oh, he's on my six. Oh, I can't take him. Ah! Like, it's just people are like, dude, the amount of times I've heard, I'll try spinning. That's a neat trick because in the game, like you rolled like to fucking dodge bullets and stuff like that. So people keep saying like, I'll try spinning. That's a neat trick.
Yeah. You know what's
Over and over
really
and over again.
I appreciate that there has been some growth in some nerds. Because I
Hmm.
saw something the other day where some guy's like, bro, I'm 50 years old. I watched the original trilogy in the theaters, and I always hated the prequels. And I rewatched them recently, and he's like, bro, Revenge of the Sith is a masterpiece. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
thank you. Like,
Episode 2 sucks. Episode
no,
1's great.
I've seen people say that it's their favorite. I have seen that. I have
Ew,
seen
that's
that.
disgusting. Talk about horrible taste. Can I tell you something though? Last week, I was like the day before Thanksgiving, I was like, well, I don't got anything going on tomorrow. I'm not gonna fucking walk my dogs or anything. 'Cause I'm gonna be as lazy as possible. So I might as well just get drunk. So I just tied one off, bro. I got wasted, and then I don't know why I stumbled into my bedroom at like 1:30 in the morning, and
Jesus.
I turned on episode 1, and I was like, just remember shouting out all the quotes. The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
Ugh.
There's something I love about like "'tis a hidden city" that I love when Jar Jar says
Yeah.
that, and like it just dude. Episode 1 is such a fucking trip, dude. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try getting drunk and watch episode 2 and see how that goes. I'll report back and let you
Bro,
know if I just get fucking
episode 2
mad.
isn't as bad as you think it is.
I don't think it's bad. I know it's bad. That's a difference.
I remember
Remember,
I
remember 2
remember
years ago when I rewatched all the Star Wars and I was like, hey, I rewatched all these Star Wars and it's like seeing them all through new lenses because I haven't watched them forever. By the way,
bro,
episode 2 still fucking sucks dick.
I remember being 8 years old in 2002, leaving that theater in Ohio, driving home, just thinking, what is episode 3 gonna be called? What's it gonna be about? I was so excited for episode 3. Ugh. Because,
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones made me excited. Yoda fighting for the first time, that was fucking sick. That was sick. The Battle of Geonosis was great. Yeah, it's a long road to get there. There's a lot of cringe dialogue in the middle. Okay, I get it. But, bro, I don't know. I was excited. Act 3 is really good. Of Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Act 1 and Act 2, take it or leave it.
With that Gungan, bro. I'm gonna tell girls I eat them out like that Gungan War Chief, bro. It's like, how do you eat that pussy? And I'm just going, I go in there and go, just like that, bro.
Yeah, like Boss Nass.
Like Boss Nass, exactly. That's what I'm gonna
Hey, oh there, Captain Tarples.
If you're in the chat. But no, that shit was awesome though. Like episode one is a really good time. Like, it's a really shit movie. I'm not gonna lie. Like the cuts are also like fucking hard, bro. Like when you're cutting between different scenes, and like some of the acting is just.
But it's
cheesy.
modern. It's more modern, so
Yeah.
like it's not as bad. Like my wife really hates the original trilogy, like at least the first one, like just because, bro, they use
so
PowerPoint transitions for scenes, like, and they continue that in all their Star Wars, obviously, but like,
absolutely. In that
but when it's that old, it
it
makes it seem cheap to people, like,
Yeah. In
like,
episode one, like the scene transitions, definitely. That's one thing I noticed over time is like, damn, I'm really getting tired of like, the freaking Microsoft. I literally said that the Microsoft PowerPoint, like, wipe away. Like, dude, I was sitting there just drunk as fuck, bro. What the fuck is this?
The slide, the dissolve, the brush way,
Yeah, good old fucking George Lucas, bro. He just pasted a shoot it out a wall. See what sticks. Oh, I'm rich as hell, so I can just do whatever the fuck I want. Okay.
He's like, hey, let's have this high budget movie, but make it look low budget.
Yeah, pretty much. Like that Gungan battle scene was still badass, by the way.
Yeah,
like the droid march scene of like them like coming out of those frickin' things and like lowering down the gates, and they'll fucking stand up and pull their gun out at the same time. It kind of makes me hate how much the Clone Wars turned the droids into like this dumb little caricature that you're not really afraid of anymore.
Well, because they are dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, bro.
Like that one scene where they walked into the hangar. We're taking
these people to Coruscant. Where are you taking them to Coruscant? Coruscant. That doesn't compute. You're under arrest.
She was so fucking good.
And then they just die, bro. And then you just see like the legs of the one battle droid without like the head and shit just walking around,
wandering around. Yeah, dude, those movies are high. The episode, man, Phantom Menace, and then bro. I open that door and Darth Maul's standing there, and you hear just like
dun dun. Yeah, bro.
They just start doing the most badass like sequence of lightsaber shit you've ever seen in your entire life. Like, damn, this shit is so fucking badass, bro.
Yeah, and then Qui-Gon's like, "We'll handle this," and then he fucking dies.
Yeah, and then he gets fucking stabbed.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler. Qui-Gon Jinn dies. Spoiler alert. You haven't fucking figured that one out yet.
Yeah, if you haven't watched Star Wars in the past 22 years, then you probably get spoiled.
Spoiler. Did I tell you that the frickin' Darth Vader being Luke's father was spoiled to me before I ever watched the original Star Wars?
Well, that's not surprising. I feel like that's just a piece of pop culture knowledge,
Yeah, exactly. It got turned into like a meme where he's like, "Oh, I am your father," and I was like, "No," and I was like, "Oh, what's that supposed to be?" Man, Star Wars, I love it.
Yeah.
Anyway. So I love it so much I play a fake Star Wars game with a bunch of other people that love Star Wars and go around get one shot in my ship, but
Yeah. Oh, also Aquaman 2 tickets went on sale like 2 weeks ago, and I didn't buy them because
you and I are on the fence. Are they sold out yet for the first night? How's it looking?
So I looked the other day and 3 seats had sold.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So Dude, there's only 3 showings that day.
This is where I really think like the next recession is going to be like a really, really bad, bro. Like bad as in we're going to see a bunch of companies that have been around for like 100 years just go under because of the consecutive poor decision making that has been made over the past 30 years that has just compounded into horrendous debt. And
so I saw.
Go ahead. I'll let you continue, please. Sorry.
An article that said movie theaters are worried about Christmas because Aquaman's the only movie coming out and nobody cares.
Yeah, there's no holiday movies coming out because they all got killed by the freaking writer's strike. That's right.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I don't know. Like the reason why I didn't buy tickets when they went on sale is because I knew that I could buy them whenever. To be honest,
Yeah.
and I was like, well, maybe I'll see. I'll see if you want to go, and I'll see if fuckface wants to go. But he'll probably say, honestly, I don't care. I'm not gonna buy him a ticket. If he wants to go, you buy his own goddamn ticket.
No.
So, because he has a job now, and so it's easy for him to have an excuse not to go. And so, hey, if you want to go and you buy a ticket and then you can't go, it's on your dime, not mine anymore.
Yeah.
So, anyway, but yeah, if you want to go, I can buy you a ticket.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I don't know if I want to drive out for
for
that.
for Aquaman on Thursday, December 21st.
Oh, it's gonna be cold as hell. Oh, Jesus. All right. Well, I'll let you know as it gets closer. Definitely not have to worry about it being sold out though.
But it's not even the
Is
movie
it?
I care about. It's just the experience. Like, it's just like,
Yeah.
I like going to movies and like
Yeah.
getting
Same.
Chick-fil-A sometimes, before the movie or
Yeah.
after.
I don't know about the Chick-fil-A. Sometimes like those waffle fries don't taste as good as everyone says they do. To
Then
be
don't
honest
get
with
the
you.
waffle fries, bro. I don't get waffle
Get
fries. I
the
get
top.
mac and
Get
cheese,
the
yo.
top. Oh, I can't eat mac and cheese and drive at the same time. I gotta drive home. So
No, I mean
the
like,
good thing.
before the movie. Yeah.
No, I
Just get
gotta get
just
Chick-fil-A on the way home though because I don't want to freaking
You
so
don't
when I
have to
get
take a
there.
shit during the movie. Yeah.
No, that's right. I don't want to piss. Don't want to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm tired of doing that.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel, dude, I went and took the hottest piss first scene I've had my entire life because I've been holding it in
Yeah.
for like 30. Because I knew that movie was so short and I had to start pissing halfway through, and I was like, damn,
Oh
I can't
yeah.
fucking leave because I'm gonna miss
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. But have you had Fire Wings?
No, I haven't yet.
Fire
A
Wings is
friend of mine
good.
told me. A friend of mine told me about them though, so I may go in there. But I like boneless wings. They have good boneless wings. Have you been there before? Have you
I
gotten their
haven't had
chicken
their
nuggets?
boneless wings, but I've had their regular wings, the bone in, and the Cali rub is a really good flavor. It's like the barbecue powder that you get like on Lay's barbecue chips, kind of, but on wings.
Mm,
That's what it tastes like to me, at least. And it's a little bit spicy, but it's really good.
yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah,
chicken.
yeah. I
Food.
I 100% prefer Fire Wings to Wingstop. Um,
Yeah. Is there a fire wings near? Because when I was working in law, another colleague, a coworker, colleague, whatever you want to say, of mine told me that they're like, hey, dude, fire wings, they know what's up. There's one in Tracy. There's just not one around here.
yeah.
But there's one in Pittsburgh. There's one literally. There's gonna be okay. There's gonna be one in Brentwood eventually. If there's one at like
Oh
that's
yeah,
like the chain from the Bay Area that goes into Stockton and then up to Sacramento. That's how you fall.
yeah,
The restaurant growth chain.
yeah.
And then a little bit down south, like on the frickin' the traffic stops and stuff on the way on down five and stuff.
Yeah, and I swear Brentwood has like two Costco's coming up.
Brentwood just has one Costco coming up.
Bro, they got two.
No, it's just one.
There's one on
The
Lone
the one
Tree.
the one in Antioch doesn't count because it's the Antioch Costco.
I think it's referred to for Brentwood.
No, it's called the Antioch Costco.
But it's
This
on
one's
the
gonna be the
Brentwood
official.
side
It's gonna
of the
be the.
highway.
Is it in Brentwood? Is it in Brentwood proper though? No, it's in the frickin' it's in Antioch. It's in Antioch, California. So
But
Brentwood's gonna get their own because they need to feel like their own little bougie mini Silicon Valley.
which
Okay,
one
I
do you
don't know what
think
else
will
to
be
tell you.
less busy?
The one in Antioch.
We'll go to that one.
I don't know. Why would I go to Costco?
I don't know. People love
Exactly.
Costco. I fucking hate Costco. I think it's a waste of money.
I love Costco too, but not right now. Don't
I,
fucking got
I
money
hate
for that
I
shit.
hate Costco. Your parents will probably have a Costco membership, and then you can use it.
Yeah, I do have one, but
Oh,
Costco is really good for his munchies.
well, I don't know. I don't really like Costco that much. Like,
There you go.
I only go there to buy
Yeah.
toilet paper and paper
You ever been
towels.
on you ever been on the food court before though? That food court's fire.
I mean, I've been
That
there
pe
and I bought you a hot dog.
yeah. You never go there? You never go there just for yourself?
Bro,
Like you never stop there on the way
I
out?
had a churro from there once. It was disgusting.
Because it's the fucking churro. That's not why people go to the Costco food court, bro. They go for the pizza and they go for the hot dogs.
My wife likes
Damn,
the
dude.
pizza and
Because
the
the
hot
pizza's
dog.
hella good. Because
Do they
they're
have
hella
do they
good.
have corn dogs?
I think they do actually, yeah. And some of them do. I know some of them just have different fried foods.
Hmm. I had a corn dog recently. I don't remember where it was from though, but it was pretty good. Where the fuck did I get a corn dog from? Jesus, bro, I'm losing it. I'm going crazy.
Yeah, and we're all going crazy little by little,
Yeah,
one day at a time.
yeah. My my thing says we have 3 viewers. I'm pretty sure I'm one of them, and I'm pretty sure you're one of them. So whoever that third viewer is, why don't you say something in chat? You could be like, "Hey, yo,
I can probably guess who it is, and they're
is it
probably
is it
driving home.
is
It's
it
probably
Ryu?"
Rio. Yeah, it's probably Rio.
Yeah.
Driving home, and then the cold Nebraska Lincoln cold. How
Jesus,
fuck? It must be
bro.
fucking. It's
I
probably freezing over there. How cold is it in
Look,
Nebraska?
Rio. If
Nebraska,
it is you, I'm sorry. I hate Nebraska.
43 degrees. Oh, that's not that bad. It
I've
gets around
driven
40.
through Nebraska so many times in my life, and
Humidity 50%. Ugh.
I
Oh, there's
get
a
it.
wind chill too. Ugh.
Listen, I know it's different driving through somewhere and living somewhere, but driving through Nebraska is fucking disastrous. There's corn everywhere. There's no civilization until you get to like Lincoln or some shit.
That's where she
And
works. She works at a Lincoln.
bro, and that's like at the end of the state. That's like near Iowa, isn't it? Or
Yeah.
whatever. Like
It's near. It's near. It's almost that.
it's near more fucking
Uh,
corn.
yeah, bro.
Like I don't know. I like Nebraska's not that bad because it's only like 5 or 6 hours of driving, whereas like Nevada's 9 hours of fucking desert if you're driving across country, going to California or something like
Yep.
that. But Jesus, man, like at least like Utah, like there's some pretty cliffs, and you go into Wyoming, and there's some pretty cliffs, little shit like that. And then you get to Nebraska, and you're
Yep.
just like, bro, fuck this shit, man.
Yeah, Nebraska's like a sea of gold with like little beautiful oases. Like there's a lot of
No,
really
it's
cool
not,
there's a lot of little cool nooks and crannies in Nebraska and nature and good natural parks and stuff like that. Really
bro.
good open fields
Have
back
you
from where they
have you been to Nebraska?
no, but
Okay.
I've seen pictures of the beautiful parts of Nebraska, so that's how I know there's good parts of it that are worth
So the hidden gems
pretty much, yeah. And the barbecue.
that you only know about if you've lived there for 30 years.
Yeah, or if you're on the internet. There's
Oh,
that too.
well,
Rio's probably driving now, so
yeah.
they're not texting and driving because
That's good. I applaud that.
I get really mad at my friends when they text and drive me.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever texted and drove with you, but I have like I can just tell my thing to text you, you know,
Yeah.
because my car's smart enough
My
to do that.
phone, my phone used to be able to do that, but then it just stopped like having that capability all of a sudden. I don't know why. Like it stopped figuring out that text command, but I'd rather not text anyway. I'd rather just
Mm,
drive. I'd rather just call someone if they need something.
yeah. Anyway, we're after 6 now, and you have an RP thing to do, right?
It's not RP, it's PvP. It's
Oh,
RP, it's PvP this time. RP was last night.
okay. Yeah. So Chair's gonna go play Star Wars Galaxies without me,
Yeah,
because
I'm gonna ban.
I
I'm gonna ban him
I have
because
not
he's.
the requisite number of hours yet. So
Yeah, well, you could start getting him. Start grinding them up, bro.
yeah, I'm
Start
gonna go
grinding those
cook
hours.
dinner.
Okay, well, you do that too.
Yeah, and I hope you enjoy Galaxies, and I hope you also enjoy a nice dinner.
I will. So I'm gonna have mac and cheese after this event, so I will. I'm gonna cook
Nice. I'm gonna
myself.
make stroganoff
Nice.
because
And the
I
hamburger
want to.
helper?
No, no,
Oh man, that hamburger helper stuff's so good though.
bro.
Straight
I'm not a
stuff.
fan of like the only hamburger helper I like is the 3 cheese one.
Dude, that beef stroganoff hamburger helper is like fire, dude. I'm telling you, you
You
should
know what's
try it.
better?
It'll be. Mm,
So I don't know if you've had it, but Velveeta skillets
I haven't.
stroganoff.
No, I haven't had it.
It's a thousand times better than hamburger helpers.
Well, it tastes. Yeah, I'll try it.
I'll make it. I'll
Anyway,
make some for you. All
I
right.
gotta get going though.
Yeah.
I gotta go. All right,
Everybody,
later.
thank you so much. Have a good night. We love you.
Yep.
Like, comment, subscribe,
All
follow,
those things.
rate,
Follow
review,
us.
click
Yes.
buttons.
Give us
Bye.
money.